welcome to a new trip report here on Bongoplanes. We are in Singapore at Changi Airport. We have just arrived with a flight on Singapore Airlines coming from Munich, and now I'm heading towards my next flight, which will be on a Boeing 787-9 from Air New Zealand, and that will bring us to Auckland. Our gate is in Terminal 3 and it is A21, so that is where we're heading right now. Our scheduled boarding time today is 7:50 and our scheduled departure time is 8:50, so we do still have some time to relax before we get going on our next flight.
So it's very easy. Maybe in our world here, there live a happy little mountain.
So welcome on board this Boeing 787-9 from Air New Zealand, flight NZ281 from Singapore to Auckland. Now, we are in seat 49A, flying in economy today, so it will be interesting to see what Air New Zealand has to offer on long-haul economy. It's my first time that I have been to Singapore, or basically just the airport, and Changi has a reputation to be like this superb airport. I must have somehow been able to find the only corner of the airport where there are no shops. Now, normally I don't do a lot of shopping at airports, but I was super thirsty from a previous flight, and there was nowhere where I could buy anything to drink. There were a few water dispensers, but honestly speaking, the water was not very tasty there, so I didn't really drink a lot from there. So that was maybe a little bit disappointing, or maybe just a bit unlucky that I simply just managed to walk away from all shops that there were around. Anyway, the weather, as you can see, it is very humid outside. It's morning, but already 23 degrees with overcast and light rain. Our flight time today is estimated to be 9 hours and 20 minutes. A quick word to the boarding procedures. It's definitely not the most chaotic I've ever experienced, but it's also not the most organized. A little bit odd, at least from a European view, was the fact that we actually had the security check at the gate. And the thing is, I arrived from a plane and I don't think I ever left the security area, so I don't exactly know how they do it at the airport here in Singapore. Maybe you just walk in and you just have the security checks at the gates, but that was a little peculiar. But yeah, they managed to do that quite well, so at least there weren't long queues at the security check. And then boarding, as I said, maybe not the best organized I've ever experienced, but definitely also not the worst. So with that, let's get going and head to Auckland. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on flight NZ281. It is dark outside. I have no idea what time it is. I have lost all sense of time and space. I mean, I've started this journey in Geneva, flew to Munich, then from Munich to Singapore, and now we're heading in towards Auckland, and that all within a span of about 48 hours-ish. So I have lost any sense for time and space. I just know that it is dark outside, and you probably won't be able to see a lot other than maybe a few light dots here and there. So while we're doing that, let's talk about our flight. So the space here on board, I mean, it is acceptable, but for 9 hours in the seat, I would also not call it pleasant. Where the seat is okay, comfy, it actually kind of feels less stiff than the premium economy seat on my last flight with Singapore Airlines, which is kind of funny. The flight itself has been really okay, but I'm sure I would have appreciated much more if I hadn't already had an 11-hour flight prior to this one. The flight crew seems friendly, except one. I don't think I have seen her smile a single time throughout her flight, and she seems like, well, she's impatient with the passengers, which maybe is not the nicest thing. The food is okay, it tasted decent for airplane food. Would I eat it outside an airplane? Definitely not. With that, welcome to Auckland, New Zealand. You can definitely see it all, can't you? Yeah. Well, it's dark outside. I can't really do anything about that under the weather either. So let's make it quick. The weather here today is 17 degrees Celsius and very humid compared to Europe. It's been a decent flight, let's be honest. Have I had better ones? Yes. Have I had worse ones? Definitely as well. Overall, it's been a very normal, pleasant flight, and as I said earlier, if I hadn't had another long-haul flight before that, I would probably have enjoyed it much more. Anyway, now I need to head into the terminal through passport control and immigration, and then I will have a few days of rest before I will be traveling again. And all these flights that I'm gonna do here in New Zealand, I will make trip reports of, and they will be on the channel as well. Thank you very much for having traveled with me. Maybe not the most informative flight, I do apologize for that, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Now with that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching, hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.